So I just wanted to a little gear guide to show you what's changed with the Unbeliever Live setup. Got a laptop in order to make everything portable. The whole point here is to have a portable system that I can take, plug in, press play, fiddle with knobs, and just be all kind of contained. The first really interesting little upgrade I've done is got this ESI gigaport, which is 8 output, no input. And if you're a bit of a bedroom musician or producer like me, you need more outputs than inputs. You could only record one thing at a time. I was using the old this Steinberg, the UR44, really good. Actually got 6 inputs because it's got the 4 mic, whatever you want to plug into it at the front, and it's got 5 and 6 input at the back. Only got 4 outputs though. I felt I needed more control, I needed more than 4 outputs. So this, brilliant. It has got 8 RCA at the back. It's also got channels 1 and 2 out at the front as a headphone socket, and full mix as a headphone socket there as well. I'll explain what's going on here in a second. I've upgraded the 8-channel, what was it, Sub-Zero Gear for Music own brand thing, I think it is, to a 12-channel thing. But the 8-channel mixer I had actually had an auxiliary input as well as the 8 channels, and this has got an auxiliary input included in the 12 channels, so I've only actually gained 2 single channels of sound, which means I've still got a bit of a crunch problem because I've got 8 channels of audio coming out and 3 channels of MIDI. So I've got, talked about dark energy before, so brilliant. I've got a new-ish, obviously second-hand, couldn't afford to buy this new, kick, which I absolutely love, especially when it's just on full volume and coming through in the mix, and this nice thing which I'm basically using as a lead synth, because when you put it on wah and drive, you've got quite a nice, actually gets quite synthy, so using that as a more of a lead instrument. So that's a stereo out, mono, so that's 4 channels, but 4 plus the 8 plus 2 effects is actually 14. So I've got channels 1 and 2 coming out into the auxiliary in for here, and I'm running the sounds, the sound effects through this. So all of the kind of ambient noises and stuff that doesn't need to be affected or anything like that can just go through, combine with this and go into one single channel here. It's quite useful. The only way to set the delay time on this is with the tap, which is nice and springy, so actually it's quite handy and quite easy to set that, get that in time. The dark energy is running through this again. I got this obviously very used, this from the 80s, but could work as an auxiliary delay, but it's only mono, so it doesn't have the ping pong, which kind of breaks it a little bit, so it makes it easier to hear the delays. So delays, using this, it's actually got really fab modulation and stuff, but I'm just using it on a pure, just as a insert effect, just running it straight into this and taking the mix out. I love, yes, really nice. Let's have a bit of, let's hear that in action. it goes actually very, very fast. So you can have you can get some chorusy effects with it. If you put I don't know if you can hear that that kind of phasing sound now. That's not coming from any LFO on this. That is coming from the modulation on the delay. If I switch it off, you can hear the difference. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. So what channels have we got? Yeah. Also, it's mid performance, you can change between delay and reverb and have different effects on here. So kick, bass. I've recorded a new guitar channel, a new guitar take based on loops. So that's one of the channels coming out, because I was finding it impossible to do all of the knob twiddling and play all the guitar. So it's kind of got a bit of a backup. I can just play almost like doubling the guitar when I don't have any knobs to twiddle. Mono vocal, and now I've got, rather than having all of the drums coming through one mono channel, I've got 2 stereo channels of drums, which I can actually pan slightly out, have independent, a lot more control, because there's, particularly in the new Unbeliever stuff I'm working on, I just felt like funneling all this drum noise through one channel, it was just too much. So I've actually got effectively four channels of drums. It might even be worth, I could probably bring it down to 2 mono channels of drums and just have it coming in one. And I don't know, there's experimentation if you're doing this. Is the Yamaha Plus channels 1 and 2 from there, which are the sounds. Just to go to evidence, there's the 2 channels of stereo drums. And lastly, you have to leave these 2 open, because that is the effects channel, and if you plug anything into these, then it stops doing the delay. So you can plug your own external effects in, but then you can't use the inbuilt effects. That's it. I think that's the setup. And the other thing to mention, this whole thing was I found on the street, this kind of tea tray, which I just thought was brilliant for performance, but I put this plank across it, this shelf, in order to give a kind of a base to put all of the plugs and wiring and stuff on. I only went and got a really heavy oak shelf. It's lovely, but even just this piece of wood is needlessly heavy, so I'm gonna have to get something much lighter, maybe something pine or just some aluminium to go across there. But that's it. Let's have a little play out. I'll go for somewhere in the middle. Just fade everything out.
Next, it would be the self-aware system you have built to realize truly omnipresent observation and judgment. You will soon have your God. You will make it with your own hands.
I'm only a Wi-Fi connection away from being an actual God.
Anyway, this needs work. It didn't quite come out. I need to go back and remaster this again, or something, because I've missed out samples and the stuff that's not come through on the on this. But yeah, there you go. 3 channels of MIDI, 8 channels of audio, all working its way into this. Plus, I'm playing guitar over the top of it as well. Let's see if I can do a performance of that soon, and then make that the new way of working for the second unbilever record. Okay, cheers.